Ayanda, a very good morning to you. Is a disciplinary hearing set to proceed as normal? We hear that Dr. Makhosi Khoza says she won't attend. Ayanda, can you still hear me? All right, we'll definitely try and get hold of Ayanda, our journalist there on the scene, to try and give us the latest developments from, of course, where the disciplinary hearing is supposed to take place. Let's look at other news in the interim. Deputy President Sir Ramaphosa says the ANC is the only party with the longest history to transform South Africa. Ramaphosa took his campaign drive to Ekurhuleni in Gauteng, where he addressed the Moses Kotane Memorial Lecture at Dawn Park.
A rousing welcome for Ramaphosa, supporting his campaign to succeed President Jacob Zuma during the next ANC elections. He compared the challenges facing his party to the era of another struggle icon, Moses Kotane, who died in Russia 39 years ago. He called on the ANC to dip into history to deal with factionalism and divisions.
We've been more and more seen with being connected with corruption. More and more, we've been seen as people who are there for our own personal enrichment.
Ramaphosa reiterated his stance to fight corruption.
As we streamline the management of our economy, we must start with our state-owned enterprises and fix that and make sure that we appoint the right people for the right jobs.
Deputy President concluded his lecture by cautioning the branches to be on alert against those who try to buy their votes during the December conference. Montlenyane Dipoko, SABC News, Dawn Park.
All right, let's try our reporter once again, Ayanda Mhlongo, who's in Durban, following, of course, that case, the disciplinary hearings looking into Dr. Makhosi Khoza's utterances. A very good morning to you, Ayanda. Do tell us, we hear that this disciplinary hearing is going to go ahead with all the developments from the Pietermaritzburg High Court leading to Dr. Makhosi Khoza saying that leadership is invalid and she will not attend today.
A very good morning to you, Alicia. Yes, we're still coming to you live outside Dr. Pixley Gaseme House, which is the provincial headquarters of the ANC in Durban. Well, absolutely, Alicia. Dr. Makhosi Khoza sent a letter to the DC. That letter she also CC'd the SG of the party as well as Parliament, in which she states that she will not attend today's disciplinary hearing against her, citing, of course, the High Court ruling this week, which declared the 2015 elective conference of the ANC invalid and unlawful, and basically saying that on that basis she would not then attend this hearing. And she said that in her letter that if they do continue with this hearing, they would then be in contempt of court, and even going as far as to say that she rights are reserved and that she can seek a relief or legal relief if there's a decision that is taken here by this PEC, which today is going to be taking this disciplinary hearing. Dr. Khoza, as I said, even her legal representation, we understand, we don't have confirmation as yet, but Advocate Smanga Siteni, who is her legal representation, has not arrived here as yet, and we do not know at this point whether or not he will be attending. But the matter of contention now, Alicia, of course, is the legitimacy of the ANC, as Dr. Khoza has said that she regards them, of course, following that court ruling, as an illegitimate structure, and therefore saying that they cannot proceed with today's disciplinary hearing against her. But just to speak about that now, I'm joined by the spokesperson of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Mtumseni Ntuli. Mtumseni, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. You were inside, and as we understand, Dr. Khoza has said that in a letter that she will not attend today's briefing. Possibly from what you have from members of the DC who have all arrived, is she indeed not coming?
Well, Ayanda, that line of thinking from Comrade Makhosi Khoza is flawed. It's flawed in the sense that the understanding of the African National Congress as an organization is that she has not been merely charged by the Provincial Executive Committee. She did not defy or transgress the constitution of the Provincial Executive Committee. her transgression has to do with the African National Congress as an organization. Of course, the PEC acting on behalf of the organization is the one that initiated the charges. But also the Court of Law did not say anything about decisions of the PEC. It only made findings in relation to the conference and the outcome of the conference. It never went beyond that deliberately, because what was before the Court of Law was essentially whether or not the conference was legitimate or not legitimate. So the DC is proceeding inside here, and we believe that the members of the Disciplinary Committee of the ANC will continue to perform their responsibilities on behalf of the organization. We met with the national officials, as you may very well be aware, and that matter was part of what was on the agenda. We needed clarity from our leadership. How should we proceed in the light of the fact that we knew that Comrade Makhosi will venture into that line of thinking? And the guidance of the national leadership was that even if there was a decision to replace the PEC with the task team, even if there was such, which is not in place at the moment, the ANC is the one that has charged Comrade Makhosi. It is not the PEC. So all that is supposed to be done on behalf of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal continues, especially because the PEC continues to be a provincial executive committee of the organization.
Now, insofar then, now that you've explained this to us, now insofar as the actual DC today, last week she did send her a legal representation who at this point we have not seen, so we don't know whether he is inside. Tell us how then the proceedings are going to continue.
Well, in terms of what the ANC constitution allows, is that the case can proceed without an affected member in attendance, especially if the Provincial Disciplinary Committee has satisfied itself that all that was humanly possible and allowed by the procedures of the ANC were adhered to in terms of informing the member concerned, and that the member deliberately, without any justified and cogent reasons, decided not to come to the hearing. So the hearing is proceeding. I briefly went inside to talk to the comrades who are there, and they told me that in terms of the rules of the ANC and the procedures, there are no basis for them to abandon the hearing. They will proceed with the hearing, and depending on how far do they go today, they will advise the ANC leadership, both in our province and national, in terms of how they believe and concluded on the matter and how it should be taken forward beyond the level of the province.
It is set down for a hearing of 1 day. Is a decision likely to be announced today?
Not necessarily. What usually happens is that because this is the first day, essentially, because the other day, Comrade Makhosi's representative appealed that the matter must be deferred to a later date for them to be prepared. We had hoped that they would come prepared today, but they are not here. So the hearing is going to proceed, and obviously it is not going to be very long, because it's not going to be an environment of different exchanges between the presenters, the DC, and the comrade who's affected. We believe that it's probably going to last for half a day, and then the team is going to sit back and have to work on how they are going to be putting together their own judgment, which will be processed, reported to the provincial secretary of the ANC, and at an appropriate time communicated to the affected member, and her rights will also be explained. That she's entitled, if she's unhappy with the conclusion, to appeal to the next level of the organization, which is the National Disciplinary Committee of Appeal.
All right, Madam Senator, thank you very much for your time. I know that you're rushing now, but thank you very much for taking us through that and explaining what the procedures are going to be at today's disciplinary hearing. The spokesperson there of the ANC, Alicia Mtumseni Ntuli. Of course, as he has said, and we were here early this morning, it was clear that she was not going to attend, but the hearing has started. Mtumseni has told us it is underway. It was just a case. He has said that we're not likely to get a decision out today. It will probably just be a matter of days. So we'll then, of course, await that decision. And again, one person that we're not too sure whether or not he will turn up to represent Dr. Makhosi Khoza in person will be her legal representative, Advocate Simanga Siteni. But the committee does have that letter that she did send to them, where she explains her reasoning behind today and the fact that she will not be be attending today's disciplinary hearing. Alicia.
Thank you so much to our reporter there on the scene, Ayanda Mhlongo. And of course, she is coming to us live from outside the place where the disciplinary hearing for ANC MP Dr. Makhosi Khoza is about to begin in her absence, as she has indicated that she does not recognize the leadership of the province as being valid since that Pietermaritzburg High Court ruling. We'll definitely be in touch with her throughout this morning to see if they do come to some sort of decision.